Forever. Dog.
Hey, it's Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood. We have a great episode for you today.
Presented by our friends at Mint Mobile.
To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $30 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Hollywood.
That's mintmobile.com/Hollywood.
Enjoy the show.
Forever. Dog.
I love that it's November, Halloween's passed, but we're still doing scary movies.
Yeah, I mean, this movie came out on October 30th. There was no way this was gonna work out.
This is just a good scary movie. This is my thing. Like, this is a good scary movie we can just do. You know, it stars some black folk, and I'm like, you know, why not? Why not?
Yeah, it's so interesting. I'm trying to think about how I feel about movies that are scary. They have like real life terrors and that with supernatural terrors, and we'll get into it. But I don't know. There's something about that like it works really well, and it makes me scared, like real scared.
Like, it makes me real life scared. Real life. I mean, I don't like messing with stuff that's I don't like messing with demons and devils and stuff like that. I just spirits. I just can't. Like, give me Jason, because I know he's fake. You know what I mean? Give me Freddy. You know, but like,
hold on. You're saying
I know they fake.
You know these guys are fake, but when you talk about witches and stuff, it's like, nah, maybe that's real?
Because people practice witchcraft in real life.
Yeah,
you know
but like, isn't there's something to the sort of like evil behind Jason and like Freddy Krueger or whatever, that's like, it has to do with like their evil continuing on. Like, there's probably a grounded lore that you could connect those two as well.
I mean, listen, I'm not scared of, which one is it? Who's in Halloween? That's Michael Myers?
Michael Myers.
I'm not scared of them because I saw Busta Rhymes drop kick that dude. All right? in Halloween H2O. I ain't scared of somebody that got drop kicked by Busta Rhymes. All right?
Wait, no, he was in Resurrection. He wasn't in...
Oh, whichever one. I just remember him doing like a legit karate kick and like
all
kicking
I
that dude.
Is that this episode is coming out in the future after the election. And so it's either a super scary... Honestly, it's going to be a scary time probably.
No matter what, bro. No matter what, bro. No
it's
matter what.
Either we're like, okay, we're feeling some hope, but some scary stuff is happening, or we're afraid of some stuff about to happen. Or it's just like, you know, continuing terror. I don't know. It's a scary time, so you know what? It makes sense to do this. All I know is, man, I hope he's gone. I really do. And I hope I hope that, you know, he had made that joke about, oh, well, you know, maybe I'd have to leave or whatever.
Leave the country.
Please do. Please get out of my house, because it's not his house.
What are you doing?
I was wondering how you were going to do it. And I was thinking to myself, will I be disappointed when you do it? And I was quite disappointed, because I feel like you weren't sure how you wanted to do that one. It was like,
yeah, I was like, in my mind, I was
faltered,
like, what's he gonna
faltered.
say? I thought, you know, like, I hope Joe Biden moves into the White House because that's his house.
I
Or
know.
I hope.
yeah, I know. It's like, you know, he's got to get out of that house because that's not his house. You know what I mean? There were so many
still
options.
what he said.
Nah, but I don't like how he wasn't confident when he did it. He wasn't confident when he did it. Oh my goodness.
Because I'm not confident that it isn't his house.
Bro, listen, we can't talk about. I don't like
Last
it.
year, because this is gonna air. This is gonna air.
2016, I was so confident.
See, I had no hope then.
Fans reminded me. They said, John was like, oh, I mean, Hillary's definitely going to win. And now I have no confidence.
You said like Hillary Clinton's president. Like you said.
Yes, confidently. It was like, it's like, ooh, bro. This is my thing about it. I remember I worked a gig at MTV, and y'all heard of this, but the listeners probably haven't. And The day of, we had this election special. They had first-time daughters and their moms. We had the cast of Hamilton. And I remember saying, hey, what happens if Trump wins? When I tell you guys, I'm in a meeting of like 30 people. People rip me apart. He would never win. Why would you say that? We're the best democracy. I was like, and my exact words were, we just had 8 years of a black president. That was my answer. Like, the world, like, America's racist. And they were like, that's so stupid. That would never happen. That would never happen. The next couple days, people were like, I just can't believe this. I can't believe it.
Did anybody apologize to you?
No. I felt like watching that. I was like that SNL Dave Chappelle sketch. Because remember, oh wow, he's hosting again. Because Dave Chappelle hosted right after the election last year. I mean, last time.
Did it on. If he's hosting again this coming week, they did that on purpose. Like,
they did. He is. I just realized it. But they had that sketch with him and Chris Rock, and they were like, all the white people were like, "Oh man, I can't wait for Hillary," and Chappelle's like, "I mean, Trump's probably going to win." What do you mean? We're so forward thinking. He's like, "Yeah, but we're racist," you know.
That was a great sketch. My only issue with that sketch was I wasn't sure if it was his house.
Wow.
or someone else's in the sketch, you know? I couldn't, like, who, we didn't know. Then it was just like, yeah, they're in the living room.
All right, let's get out of here. I'm tired of being in this cold open. I need to get out of this cold open. I need to, this isn't my house.
Wow.
Let's start the show.
Jonathan Braylock, James III, Jerah Milligan.
What more can I say? You know what it is.
Black men can't jump.
In Hollywood.
Black actors, man. Black actors. All right.
Welcome to Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood.
Hollywood City.
This is my house. My house.
Wait, did he say it? Did he take that big of a
He
pause?
said it like,
First off,
I think he said it like that. I think he did like a deep breath.
First off, why did you breathe and then look away like this is like
that was weird.
like what was that?
I'm in it. I see myself. I'm
Where
in the
are
house
you
right
looking now? I feel like I see your profile.
I'm in the house. I'm looking around. I'm looking at the wall with the holes in it, and the people looking at me.
Oh,
it's scary.
People. What people?
The mad
Yeah.
people in the walls.
The ghosts?
Yo-
You got
in your
ghosts in
house?
walls?
The ghosts in it. Yes, because I'm there. I'm in it. But I'm telling them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't do it again. All right. For those who made it past that cold open, welcome. This is Jonathan Braylock.
I'm Jerah Milligan.
And my name, James III.
Okay.
Yeah, he likes to.
That was a little smooth. All right.
Thank you.
We are a film review podcast. We review the films of leading black actors. We talk about them in the context of race and diversity in Hollywood. And you know, because we are still in this pandemic and movie theaters are still shut down where we live, you know, we've been reviewing a lot of Netflix films.
Yeah.
And there was a new one that came out right before Halloween called His House. And it stars, we practiced this 1,000 times, Wunmi Mosaku. And James, you remember how to say the...
Sope
Sope
Dirisu.
Dirisu. Right. All right. And
But honestly,
Sope.
if we got that wrong, because we did a lot of Googling and I was looking at IPA and stuff, if we got that wrong, tell us.
Yeah.
Let
We
us
tried
know.
this time, y'all. We tried. I know y'all be dragging this. We tried.
This movie actually premiered at Sundance like early this year, which honestly seems like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was bought by Netflix and it was released on Netflix, so it's an exclusive Netflix film. It was directed by Remy Weekes, I'm assuming how to pronounce that.
Directorial debut.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, truly wow for a
Wow.
directorial debut. This movie, you know, doesn't have a box office, obviously, but on Rotten Tomatoes, it currently has 100%.
Wow.
It has an 83% audience score, 100% critic score. And anything else to talk about? I mean, Wunmi, if you guys
spoiling.
watch,
We're spoiling it.
yeah, we're definitely gonna spoil. We're gonna spoil, but to be honest, it's there's some surprises. For the most part, it's one of those films where just from the setup, you kind of know a little bit of what's going to happen. And then Wunmi is from Lovecraft Country, if you guys been watching that.
Ruby!
Is Matt Smith Doctor
that's
Who?
Doctor Who.
He was a doctor, and he is he's currently who I call my favorite doctor, but that changes depending on the day and time.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, love Matt Smith.
Yeah.
He's really good at everything he was doing in this movie, which is sort of like looking off into the middle distance, like with
Right.
like weight, like something's going on, and he's like, oh, this, like. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
Hey, y'all remember those days when you were always ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, I do remember because it's today.
Okay. Well, look.
Wait. What's happening? Hold on.
Well, to the listeners, if y'all don't remember those days, if it's been a while, you can now increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up, BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue.
Yeah, Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis.
You could take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill. So you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises.
I hear what you did there.
Yep.
Okay.
Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at a pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. I did it too.
Okay.
Okay. Listen, all you gotta do is go to BLUEChew.com. Use that promo code Hollywood. All right? And try it for free, baby. Try it for free. you know.
That's BLUEChew.com with promo code Hollywood to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper, fastest choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast.
Hey, we're Kelly and Lindsay from Teen Creeps.
And we're James, John, and Jerah from Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood. And we're here for some real talk. That's right. We're talking about wireless plans.
I love Mint Mobile. I've said it a million times. I scream about it to everybody I know. Get on Mint Mobile. It's only $30 a month, unlimited, which I feel like is unheard of when you compare that to other big box retailers.
All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network.
You can get the same exact coverage that Big Wireless is giving you for a fraction of the cost.
By going online only and eliminating the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes significant savings on to you.
If you're not 100% satisfied, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee. Get your money back.
Break up with Big Wireless and switch to Mint Mobile's premium unlimited data plan for $30 a month.
Cut your unlimited wireless bill to $30 a month at mintmobile.com/Hollywood.
Hell yeah. Shall we do initial thoughts?
Okay, here are my initial thoughts. I'm going to go first.
snap.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay,
James.
This is
James.
the scariest thing I've seen in my life. I was so scared. This movie was so scary. Oh, and it was so I was fully thrown at the twist,
Oh
at the
my
reveal,
God.
I guess.
Oh.
The reveal.
Oh.
Oh man, I was like, this is heartbreaking.
Oh.
The acting was so good. I really loved the mix of the sort of what Bray was saying before, the real life horrors with the witch horrors. I'm not going to say that that's not real life. I'm going to say with the witch supernatural elements. I thought the acting was so good. And I thought it was just well written, well directed. I really enjoyed this. I don't know what else to say besides I thought it was fantastic.
I'll go next.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go, Bray?
No, you can go.
I love it. I saw this. I watched it last night. It was dark as hell. And this is my thing about horror movies is that this movie just started. Like there was no.
That's true.
We're gonna see a little bit of stuff happen, and it was like, oh no. The first night we in it, baby. Like we're going for it. And I thought the acting was really well, and I thought they did something which is very fascinating. And this is kind of a true haunted house movie in a way, because majority of the movie is the house. Like they venture out, I think, a few times towards the end, but for a good portion, shit is happening in the house, and they keep it very it moves fast. I didn't feel like this was a slow movie at all. I mean, these weren't even just jump scares. Like these were genuine. I was nervous throughout this whole movie because I didn't know what either one of them were going to do. I didn't know who was being haunted exactly. I thought it was great. And also, one last thing is I thought this was a very effective way of having a layered horror movie starring Black people that the things haunting them wasn't racism, if that makes sense. Like it still dealt with racial issues, but it wasn't like white people inflicting pain on them. And I was like, this, yes. Like, and again, I know we're in this kind of horror renaissance, and like, yes, we deal with racism all the time, but it was so interesting because we deal with so much other stuff. To see this immigration and refugee story in this kind of way, I thought it was genius. Right. I thought it was so smart.
Yeah. I mean, this movie is fantastic. If you don't like scary movies because you're like too scared to watch them, it is real. It's going to be tough for you to get through this. You're going to have to watch it during the day. Though I think by the end, once everything is kind of finally revealed, it gets a little less scary because you understand what's happening. In the beginning, it was like, I stopped watching it.
Yeah, you talking about the last...
Wait, so...
You're talking about the last 20 minutes, maybe last 10, 15 minutes. The first
hour, Bray,
is frightening.
So wait, Bray, when did you stop exactly?
I stopped at... I saw through his first thing.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I saw through that.
When they flipping on and off the lights, though?
Yeah, when it came back, when it was like daytime and then dark again, I was like, I can't. I was like, all right.
That scene, I think that's
like,
his second
close.
moment.
Yo,
when they're flipping up and down the lights,
it wasn't even just that. Sorry, you go ahead, Brace. Are you doing this? Your thoughts?
Actually, I think I stopped it with her. I think I stopped it. I don't even know if I got that far. When the little ball rolled into. When the little ball rolled into the living room,
like 15
and
minutes.
I was like, I can't do this. Yeah. I was like, wait, I'm gonna get haunted in the daytime too? I'm out. and then I watched it this morning. Yeah. I needed the cover of Light. But also no, I mean, this movie is so good. Here the thing again, and we were just talking about this. Actually, we were talking about this offline. Excuse me, with Lovecraft Country, where sometimes, if when you layer in the metaphor, or we were talking about this with the other movie, actually, when you layer in a metaphor, if the metaphor is overpowering and distracting from the actual story of the movie, it gets kind of wonky. But these types of movies, there's a supernatural thing happening. There's something real happening that's very stressful. There's a haunting of the past that we don't fully know, but we know it's also emotionally stressing them out. And so when a real supernatural thing that we know is happening can't be explained, or like you try to explain it to other people and other people are like, well, you're crazy because X, Y, and Z is going on. Do you know what I mean? And like, that's like just classic horror, perfect scenario you put somebody in where there's things happening for you to go, oh yeah, it makes sense why they're like having a mental breakdown, but they're not having a mental breakdown. There's literally something haunting them. That's like such a perfect horror scenario. Also, this movie was only an hour and 30 minutes, so it moved like Jerah said, it moved quickly, but not too quick. Like it was just perfect timing. The cinematography is gorgeous. The acting is incredible.
Oh my god!
Both of these, and here's the thing: I usually actually don't like horror movies that have only like two leads, because I go, well, how am I supposed to be scared? Like, there's only two people who can die, and I know neither of them are going to die until maybe the end. So it's like, it's kind of like that thing. But the scenario of like not knowing, like, wait a minute, are they gonna do something that, you know?
Yes.
That was great. Yeah, I mean, what a really well done film.
First movie.
Yeah.
First movie. Like, he did an indie. I saw he won. The director won like a advertising contest, and then he directed a movie that got a short that got in South by Southwest. And this was next. Like,
Oh wow, he doesn't even have there's no wiki.
no, like this is, you know what I'm saying? My man is just here, and I'm like, it's so good. I just want to jump into this movie. This movie's fucking awesome.
Let's get into it.
I'm trying to think. When we open up, are they on? They're on the ship when we open up, right?
Yeah, I think the first kind of images is them getting onto a boat, you know, and then we see them, or it's like we see them like escaping.
Yeah,
I don't know if we see them like on a truck first, and then the boat, and then getting on the boat, and then very quickly it's the middle of the night. They hear the motor turn off. Mm-hmm. Then we see like the flashes of like people in the sea drowning. We see the kid, and then
it's the two of them,
like
with,
and then it's like
Dr.
them.
Who.
Yeah, and then it's like them in the whatever detention
wherever holding
area
they are. Yeah.
It's so crazy because warning, we're not a political podcast. But when I see movies like this, and you see movies with refugees, and it's like when people come for asylum, like here in America, and it just hear, our current, well, we don't know the president, but to hear, Trump say what he says about like immigrants and stuff, I just imagine what people lived through to make them want to flee where they were, and everything they had to do to get like to America or get to like London. You know what I mean? Like there's so much fear and there's so much exhaust. Like there is that thing. Like I know we talk about it sometimes, even with acting and stuff like that. It's like, we come from places and, we happen to be the ones that have the success, and it's like everybody else may not have got it. So I often think about the refugees who made it to the land and everybody they came with who just didn't get there with them. Like what is that psyche? Yeah. What does that do to you? Oh my gosh. And when you see them sitting there talking to Smith, Matt, what's his name? Matt Smith, James?
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we even get to them talking to him, they get cleared to leave.
Oh yes.
Right. There's
and
also
that scene when they get
another.
To leave is, go ahead, Brain.
I was just gonna say, even before that, there was another black man in the room that they were holding with, and he was like, "Don't get your hopes up."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're just gonna send you back.
They're just gonna send you back.
And then we hear why it's so possible for them to be sent back. Like they're getting 74 pounds a week. Yeah. They
can't work.
You're
not allowed to work.
Nope.
Can't supplement your income in any way. You got to survive off of this. They're going to give them a house. You got to check in every week. There's there's
excuse
a one
to miss
strike
appointment.
Yeah, one strike rule.
Also,
one strike and you're out.
Boyle says something that's so sad when he goes, we're one of the good ones. Like he's like to hear him. What did he say?
He says we're good people.
Oh, we're good
then
people.
Matt Smith says later, be one of the good ones.
Be one of the good ones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, he says we're good people, and then the guy was like, I don't care, but like
doesn't matter.
I'm not the one you have to prove that to, or something like that. And they're very cold. Like the whole process is very cold, and you realize like this is what people go through. And the other thing is, I don't know if we actually ever fully understand what happened to the boat. Like it could have been the storm, but I know for a second I thought it was, because I know this happens too, which is people pay, and they're paying, like they take all their possessions and they usually pay people off to sneak them into countries, even though they're fleeing and seeking asylum, which is supposed to be a legal process that you could do. But just like, in America, and there's a lot of other European countries do the same thing. They don't want refugees coming in. They make it very hard. And there are people who take money from people to take them over, and then they take them on a ship and then they dump them in the ocean. They like literally just, they just take people's money and then they just like basically kill them. So
my
it's
God.
like this. So we don't know if it was a storm, if it was like intentional. But they made it. But we see that like their kid, and what's the kid's name?
I don't know how to pronounce it at all.
Yeah.
I would say the daughter, because they kept calling her daughter. So I'm gonna say their daughter.
Yeah, daughter had died, and so then they get brought to this house, and it's like in this kind of projects area.
Bro, the door don't work. He opens the door and the door comes off.
There's
the hinges.
trash outside, and like right outside their house, there's a bunch of trash just piled up. Yeah, the door, like the lights. He tries to put the light on, the lights don't work. Like it looks so run down, but they keep going like this house is huge. It's bigger than my house.
Yeah,
and it's like
what? And he even says, and Doctor Who even says, normally you would have to like share this, but you guys and bull is it bull? Is it bull? Bull.
Yeah.
Bull. Like he asks, he's like, why are we so lucky? Or something like that. Like when he finally gets the house and he's like, yo, they don't have to share it. And I thought this movie was setting up like, oh, mad black people have died in this house. Like I thought that's what the house is haunted and it's killing black folks, but I thought we were going to get. So when that didn't happen, it also, what is interesting is like when they go in the house, you know, they get settled and Ruby goes to sleep. That, I thought it was daytime almost. Like that instant shit starts going down immediately. I was like, oh no. And they play with shadows so well in this where like, you know, you would see a shot and someone would just appear out of the shadow. And to me, at a certain point, some of the ghosts were so unrelenting that like I felt like he would run and then I'm looking, because you know, these jump scares, I'm like, all right, it's going to be in front of him. Then he looks up and someone jumps from the ceiling. I'm like, God, woo, woo.
Yeah. And early on, we don't really understand like there's a hole in the wall, like at night, there's a hole in the wall and he's like, oh, what is, you know, and he kind of hears something, he's looking in it. He does the thing that you never want to see people do in horror movies, which is stick your arm into a dark hole in the wall.
Makes no sense.
To see what's in there.
Makes no sense.
But then he winds up pulling out like a rope and that's covered with seaweed, and it's just all this seaweed, and he's pulling it, and then we see something start creeping up behind him. And I was like, what's gonna happen? I was like, what? Dude.
And then
I was like, what is this? What's the seaweed? And then I realized, I was like, well, the seaweed, like that means something with the sea. Like it does feel connected. Not, I was like, what? Yeah. What is it? The house or is it? Yeah, their passer.
And then when he gets to the end, it's just the white doll baby. But then the hand comes in and grabs the doll baby. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh. And then the thing pops up behind him. So the shit didn't just stop.
Yeah, they refused to let it be one jump scare. There was always something else after.
Like, it just never stopped.
Refused to let it just be one thing at once. They were like, and then something else. Like, just when you think.
Then the next night, I don't even think it's nighttime. He's in the kitchen, he looks in the living room, and you just see like the little kid sitting there, but then like a hunched over old lady or something walks across the screen. And then we see that, then there's something else in the kitchen trying to get him. I was like, yo, it was just ghost on ghost on ghost in this movie, man. And it's so interesting is that while this is happening, he never tells, at first he never tells his wife.
I hated that. When that first happened, when he like had this whole thing, and then the next morning he said nothing, I was like, oh, I see what's going on.
Yo, he let it go like 2 nights, I want to say. Because you know what I started thinking it was?
And she was the one who brought it up first, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I was like, so even her bringing it up first, I was like, this movie has a very Shining feel. Where like, you know, I had just watched The Shining recently, and you know, we watched Jack go crazy, but he's the only one who's like dealing with the ghosts, and he just won't say anything. So I'm thinking, oh, is this kind of like The Shining where, you know, the husband is seeing the ghost? And normally it's interesting that the husband is haunted first by ghosts and scared first. Usually I feel like it's the wife or some kids.
Right.
And they're like, honey, there's some crazy shit. And he's like, I don't believe it. So the fact that he was haunted first, I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah. And that he would not only did, but the thing that frustrated me was not only would he not acknowledge what was happening to him, but he would tell her that she was going crazy.
Yo,
Like he would still tell her she was losing her mind, but he was like seeing more things than what we had seen her see. You know, like
it's something about that, and I think it's so deep where even as he's doing this, like one of the things he does, like again, we're in the house for most of the movie, but at one point, you know, he goes to the barbershop. You know, his first night, gets a haircut, and then goes to the bar and sings like, you know, the soccer song.
I liked that. Yeah.
And then
he's like trying to fit in.
He's just trying to fit in, and it's that thing of, maybe I'm putting too much on it, but there is this thing of, you know, being a black man in particular, and being like he will now be in these white spaces, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we actually saw once he got there. Like his neighbor was white, the people he dealt with at the detention center were white, the people he checked in were white. And there's something about like assimilating and like fitting in and like not being aggressive, not being weird.
I don't think you're putting too much on it. I think that was a big part of his a part of what he was trying to do in this part of his journey. And like and Rial was like not into it. She was like, you're trying to be like them. You're like
begging for the scraps they give us. You like the scraps they give us. But there is something to that. Like, you know, my stepfather is like 75, 76 from the South, and very tough, very smart black man. But when he's in certain situations, like when we had a situation with the police, he reverted to something I've never seen before. And it was like a survival thing. It was a straight up like, yes, sir, no, sir, like not looking the cops in the eyes type thing. Even though we had done nothing wrong, it was like, I need to be as docile and comfortable as possible, because any type of resistance will feel like a threat or like anger. So even seeing him at certain points, you know, with his little haircut, you know, when he gets his little polo shirt, you know, you just see him trying his best to like, he looks at the white dude, he gets the slacks, you know.
Why those models look so white though?
Yeah.
The polo shirt.
Yeah, what was the casting for this?
You know, it was like, but it's something to that. And then I even think, you know, seeing Rial, and she's talking to the ghost, and there was something so scary about her being like, the ghost said, he can take me back to her, and I should be scared of you. Because that was pretty early. Right. That was pretty early when she said that. And that's when
she said the house was talking to me.
In on her sitting at the table talking to an empty chair. Like
yeah.
The way that also added a layer of like, it was what was so frightening about it to me was the way she interacted with the ghosts versus the way he did. Like he was, and they were obviously they were
of it.
Trying to they were confronting him, you know, whereas I think they were possibly pleading with her, or like, they just had it was a different level of haunting.
Yeah. But she was getting, so this is the thing that I realized was happening, was that he was being haunted by these ghosts, by the witch doctor. She was being haunted by the place that they lived in. She was being haunted, you know, when she comes outside and those kids are messing with her, like, and she's like walking around and it feels like an endless maze. Like it felt supernatural. Like she was like, do I go here? Do I go there? You know, she felt like she was going in circles. You know, she was like, oh,
that little boy was in two places at the same time.
He was kicking the
little boy that was kicking the ball or whatever it was. Was on one side of the courtyard. Then he was just on the other side.
Yeah.
Also, I was so scared.
And then that little girl peeing outside her window.
Yes, I was so scared when she went and asked for help from those little black kids, like the 3 black boys. I was so nervous. I was like, man, please don't do nothing to her, man. And then when she goes to the doctor, and the doctor tries to relate, and then she just, first off, Wunmi has...
Yo, that was amazing.
She has a look, and you know, Bray, I know you're watching Lovecraft now, but like when you see her on Lovecraft, she will just stare. She does a thing I feel like, you know, your acting teacher tells you to do, is like, take your time. And like, there's so many looks in this movie where she's just like looking somebody up and down without even moving her face. Like when she's looking at that doctor, and the doctor talks about the daughter trying to relate, and she has that mini little flashback, and we see that their daughter dies. I mean, as we know it, it's such a heart wrenching thing. Ah, man. Because in my mind at that point, I'm just imagining like these people trying to flee a country, and they watch their daughter drown. Is initially what happens, and I think at one point, maybe not her, but Bull hears the voices like, "Help us! Help us! I can't swim! Help!" Like you hear people, and it's just, man, this movie was tough. This movie was tough, man. This movie was tough. And there was so many nuances. There were so many nuances. When she comes back, I'm sorry, we keep talking much. When she comes back and she's talking to Bull, and she again tells him, he says, I can see her. We need to leave. Like, we got to leave. Like, I'm either leaving with you or leaving without you. Like, I got to go. And maybe I'm skipping ahead. Oh, sorry. Maybe I am. So I think that night, is when the light stuff starts happening. When he sees one ghost, and then he cuts the light off, and then the other ghosts come, but the light come back on, and then the daughter is in the corner, and she cuts the light off, and then all the ghosts go.
The light scene was, I mean, probably one of the best scenes, because it's one of those things too where you're like, he's doing this thing with the lights, and you're kind of like, why? But also, it makes sense because he's like, wait, is it there? Like, if I turn the light, like, am I safe with the light on? Like, or not?
Dude.
Yo, but when the little girl turned that light on,
when she was just
the light
standing,
came on, and I was like, oh, is he near the light switch? And then you look over, and it's like her near the light switch. You're like, uh-oh. You don't want her to be in control.
When she turned the lights on, but there are other spirits.
I thought she was helping him. I thought she was helping him.
No. She was going, bro, these lights don't matter.
Yo, I thought she was helping. I was like, yeah, man, help my man out.
I'm here with the light on. I'm about to turn it off.
Yo. And there were so many.
She was the one who tried to cut his throat.
Yeah, and she jumped up the wall. It also was so crazy because she was the one, like the other one still, when he cut the light switch on, like they all vanished, but she was the only one that could be, you saw her in the walls. You saw her like, I mean, they even had her like stomping on the ceiling at one point, running across. And the whole time I kept thinking, yo, Raul's upstairs, yo. Like either she sleep or she talking to or like one of the other ghosts are distracting her with conversation. And when he goes into the hallway, she's just standing there in the dark, which scared me. And she's like, did you see him? And I was like, wait, you know them all? Like, you know all of these ghosts? Oh my God. And then the ghost, the little girl had like the little mask face paint thing on. I was like, bruh, I can't.
Oh, right.
I can't, man.
All of that was great. But of course, when we start to figure out what's happening. Oh, wait, right before this happened though, he's like, when he finally admits like, okay, we got to get out of this house.
After he bangs in all the walls?
I think at this point she said exactly what it was. She was like, I had this whole story. My mom told me the story of a man who wanted to move into a house. And so he wanted to move so bad that he started stealing. But one of the people he stole from was a witch doctor. I forgot the name. And this witch doctor haunted him until he died. And she was like, what we did, like something came out of that sea, And I was like, when she said that, I was like, what did they do? They were just trying to leave.
Same.
I was like, what did they do? I was like, okay, so their daughter died, but like that wasn't their fault, I'm like, oh man, they're haunting themselves. But so she says that, and so then he's like, we gotta leave this house, and he goes to I don't know, Matt Smith or whoever those guys were, working for the government, and they were like immediately they were like, what's wrong with the house? I was like, first of all, you know what's wrong with the house because you walked into that house. That house was not nice. Yeah. Why are y'all looking at him like he crazy? But then he said rats and vermin, and I was like, no, say like the electric, the electrical's not working. There's nothing in the walls. The walls, you know, they need
Leaking or something. Yeah,
insulation. I don't know, man. Like there's so many things.
That one dude in the
And he's
background
like,
goes, "It's
"Nah,
bigger
there
than
are
my
rats."
house."
He's like, well, there are rats everywhere.
And he's like, "I just need to get out this house." And then he just, and then what is so crazy is because the whole
When he was
scene,
laughing and he broke that glass.
yes, and that's my thing. It's like there was something when you heard it cracking the whole time, like you heard it cracking,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "What is that?" And like he's not just stretching this joint in his hand, and my man just so much fear and anxiety in his body, just broke a glass in his bare hands that's already cut. My man already has put holes in the wall. Wait, is this before he tries to confront the ghost when he's like, "This is my house," and he puts the candle? Or is that this night? Is that
The candle is after. It's after this.
Yeah.
But he has started, like, he has already
Banging
beaten up the banged up the walls and stuff. The other thing that made me mad about this scene though was Matt Smith goes, he's like, I just feel like you're being tested, like, you know, to figure out what kind of man you're gonna be. And I'm just like, oh, don't say that to me right now. When the ghosts of this little kid I killed is coming after me.
I mean, it's so tough. It's so tough. And to me, it's like I did like, and I was very nervous when he set the candle in the room. And that was the first time I kind of could tell exactly what time of day it was. Because when he was in that room, because the street light was right outside the window, I couldn't tell like what time of day it was every now and then until he ran out the house. And then I was like, oh, it's nighttime. And then the white woman's looking at him and he smiles at her. And then she comes back and says, right after this Doctor Who scene, and goes, "They're going to kick you out anyway." You know what I mean? They're going to kick you out anyway.
Right.
And I'm like, God.
Well, him locking them in the house was like, okay, he's gonna go. He's
I thought he was cracking. I was like, he's about to.
I mean, he was cracking.
He was cracking.
He's knocking off the handles, and I mean, they already saw that when they came in and saw the house. With when that other dude came, they're like, these are big rats.
Yeah,
like and she's like, yeah, my wife's been chasing. The wife's like, yeah, my husband has been chasing the witch with the hammer. I was just like, oh my God.
With a straight face chasing the witch with the hammer. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, but I mean, I really do think it was such an incredible way to show what actually happened. Because movies try to do this all the time. They try to do these backstories and whatever, and they do these flashbacks. But they did it in such a cinematic way that was also kind of like a little bit scary because you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But they basically, have the wife in a dream, dream kind of state, like being like, oh, I'm back home. And this whole movie too, she wants to go back home, and she's making some good points about, what's happening to them here and what he's doing and all that stuff. But I was like, but at the end of the day, I was like, they fled for a reason. Like there was a reason. They didn't just leave, And then so I was kind of like, that was still in my mind. So when she saw all these people and she was like singing or whatever, and she was like, oh, this isn't real. This is a dream. And then he comes in and he's like, we gotta go.
And she's staring.
And then they leave.
Dude.
Yeah, she's staring. Then she leaves.
The top of that scene is so crazy. She comes out of goddamn
all
cabinet.
These bodies. Oh. I mean, I was like, oh, yeah, all her friends are dead.
Right.
They're all dead.
Right. and what makes it so gnarly,
they barely escape with their lives,
is that you see them hiding on the roof of a building. There's like literally people running with their stuff. There's a guy with guns shooting them, and then there's a man walking on fire. And then I'm like, oh, this is crazy, because again, we keep having these flashbacks. Like one of the coolest scenes is, when Bull is eating dinner, and the camera pans out, and now he's like, the house is kind of cut out, and he's in this water kind of dead people world. And I thought how they played with that was really, really cool. But when you see him, I was so confused about the bus. I was like, I'm confused. She got on the bus, and he's like, it's two, blah, blah, blah. The bus, I'm like, all right, man, we got to see what's happening. But when he grabs that girl.
I was confused the whole time because I was like, where's their daughter? I don't understand. Where's their daughter? You know?
Yo, when he grabs that girl.
I was confused until the moment it happened. I literally was like, I don't get it. Where's their daughter? And then when they weren't going to get, oh my God.
It hurt, man. It was like, because you think about the kind of desperation. It's like, you're trying to get your wife, yourself and your wife out of danger. You know what I mean? Like you're looking at the people with the guns coming.
Remember, this is the thing that he did was the exact thing Billy Zane did in the Titanic.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, he did.
The exact thing. And Billy Zane got away with it. Remember, he did get onto the ship. Mm-hmm. But in the Titanic, we never saw that little girl's mom. So we think maybe that mom was dead, you know, and he did kind of save this little girl. Maybe. Even though what he did was cowardly. However, in this, they take the girl, and then when they're on the bus, the mom is there before they pull away. So
and the
they
girl is
literally
screaming.
separated a child from her mother just to save themselves.
The girl
and
is
I was
screaming.
like, they're going to die.
The mom is screaming.
I really did. I thought they were going to die because I saw that. I was like, well, they do kind of deserve to die now.
but if you think about
that, I mean, I get it. I get it. I get it. I don't think I would do the same thing in their situation. I get why he did it. We've seen this, you know, when you watch zombie shows or whatever, like this happens all the time, right? Like this kind of like, well, I got to save myself. So you start to really bend those moral lines. But like the mom crying, just that you lose a piece of your humanity when you make that decision. Yeah. You know what I mean? With a mom right there looking at you, screaming, and the child in your arms screaming, and you just go, I got to get out of here. A part of you dies, and that's the thing. I mean, they talk about at the end, like there's these ghosts or whatever. It's like, it stays with, these ghosts will never leave. Yeah. They can never, it's going to haunt them forever.
Yeah. I mean, and it's something watching the wife, because again, she didn't know he was going to do that. And she's looking at him, and then she sees the other mom and child just staring at her.
Like, what, are you going to say something?
And then you realize that the daughter they lost was never the. So they separated this girl, and then we see when the ship.
And her thing was like, oh, I'll justify this act because I'm going to save this little girl.
Yep, yeah. I got you. But then the thing is, you see when the ship goes over, Borg is the one who can swim and only goes after his wife. He doesn't go after the girl. They both watch her drown.
Yeah, and do you think that the spirit was being honest in the witch was being honest in their saying that like, oh, I can bring her back, and no, right? Like
I think it was more metaphorical, both in terms of the movie, but also in terms of what the witch was kind of saying was like, you will redeem yourself if he if he kills himself, then that makes this right, and you can keep living without all this haunting, because then you would have made amends for it in some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that the witch would not, because like what then happens to Rial after all of this? Like if he dies, like I was so trying to figure out like what would really be the next, what is this world that this witch is promising, or is the witch going to then consume her after the, you know?
I think the witch was going to put her in a state of, I think she would always be haunted. It's just that at that point she would accept that the girl is with her. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there was no real world for her to go to. What was interesting to me is that by the time we got to this point in this reveal, even the older woman slides a knife to her. You know what I mean? Like slides a knife to her. She goes in, boils at the dinner table. He's already been stabbed in the leg, and the ghost keeps saying, "Yo, he needs to split skin so I can come in." Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. What I did not expect to happen was for her to. I thought she was gonna cut him. I didn't expect him to cut himself. And I was like, "Oh, how is this ghost gonna come?" And it was such a slow boil to this ghost. He's like, "Yeah, he's coming now. He's coming." And you just heard the footsteps. Go. You get out of here. You hear the banging, and then I didn't expect this goddamn naked dead body to come and go into his. Bro,
when he stuck his hand into his arm,
that was gross. That was so gross.
Because the thing about this movie is the movie is so every new scary image is scarier than the last, and like I was sincerely like, there's no way that they can scare me anymore. I was at a point where it was like there was nothing that they can do that would top it, and the smallest thing, because it feels like the smallest thing, is just that ghost sticking his hand into his forearm. It was the most unnerving thing I've ever seen.
Because then at one point, what you notice is that because the ghost said his body will be mine, right? And so, when you see the hand going, you realize that the ghost hand is trying to go into the place.
Yeah, he's trying to just wear him.
It's like he's just wearing the dude. Oh man,
through his forearm. I'm just
like,
I
was
don't know
he just
how
gonna
you would
live
do
in
it.
that guy's body all?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Because I mean, even in her story, she says the guy is haunted because his life is not his or something like that anymore. And I was like, oof. I am happy she went back to save him, but that scene was graphic. I was like, you about to just, oh Lord, man. I was like, this is crazy. I did love the ending when everyone comes back and Dr. Who goes, you still seeing the witch? My wife killed him. My wife killed him.
Now, why do you think she killed him, the witch?
To me, it is something with the only way to live is to like acknowledge your past, acknowledge the demons, and like don't let it haunt you. Because what it looked like to me is like the moment she killed him, the big demon, she accepted everything. Like the daughter was still there. Like you remember, like when she killed him, you look in the room, the daughter is still standing there, and then in that final shot, you see them standing, but then you see everybody there. Like this is now the house where everybody will live in. And I assume it would be peaceful. I mean, it seems like everybody will live through them, which is kind of beautiful to an extent, terrifying at the same time if they have kids. But
right.
I thought it was kind of beautiful in a way. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what you said, and like sort of acknowledging her role in it, to not return the dog, it's almost like it was like their options were to stay there and perish, right, or like just deal with this horrible thing that they did, and I felt like that was like her taking what blame she felt she had and standing up to it.
Yeah. And I think, because since he was willing to kill himself and he was willing to do this, she realized, okay, he's not ignoring it anymore. He does feel, remorse for what he did and regret. So maybe there's a way we can still be together, because that is her. And he was doing it for her in a way, it's twisted, but yeah, man. But yeah, there was such gorgeous imagery in so much of this. Because we didn't talk about that one shot where she's not there anymore and he's just eating and he's like using the fork and knife because instead of using their hands, and she's like, "Oh, I taste the metal of the fork and the knife," which I thought was so funny. And so he's like, "We have to use this." Like he's trying to conform, and then he's just eating, and it's kind of zooms out, and he's like floating in the water.
Yeah,
like
yeah. Gerard brought that up.
But there's also something about that taking a page out of Black Panther, that ancestral land, but this one was like the graveyard.
Right.
Like we saw the bodies, and even when the candle goes out and he's talking to the witch is just in the background. Like it's still dark. It's kind of like Water-esque, but he's just like in the background, like standing and like slowly walking. Bruh, I This movie was fucking terrifying.
That scene made me mad too, because I was like, because that was also one of the like, they can't scare me anymore. And then they just had his little beady eyes in the distance.
Yeah, just in
slowly
the distance.
getting bigger. I was like, how did they just kept inventing new scary ways to present stuff. It was so good.
Because some of the stuff I couldn't tell if it was in their head or not. But at the end, when the witch came out of the floor and you saw they had the little mat covering it, I'm like, oh, so this stuff was happening, man. Like, I did love how defiant he got at one point when he was like, you can't touch me. Pictures don't scare me. Pictures don't scare me.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. But, you know, when I think about Hollywood, it's like I am happy this guy got this shot. Like, I don't know how it happened.
Right.
I don't know. I really don't know how it went down, but I'm just so thankful because I think this is cool. I think this is the type of movie where I'm like, yes, Black people do deserve to be in horror films. We do, 100%. But again, I think we do go through these phases for Black people to get content made. It goes from, you know, the slavery content to, you know, Black people doing drug content. Then it went through the rapping content. You know, now we're in the police brutality content. And then like we're in the police brutality, but now it's like, oh man, here are the Black people being haunted by like racism in these really cool ways. Like I loved Us. I mean, Get Out. Love to Get Out. You know, but I did have a hard time at first with Lovecraft because it's like I am seeing racism with witches and I'm seeing Black people being like mutilated on a regular basis. Where it was something about this story that was very interesting because it talked about like, yes, it was about, you know, I think they're from South Sudan. But it talks about survival and the need of like, it feels so genuine. It feels like, you know, every story is like, oh man, my dad's from Ireland and came to America, you know, like, you know, I just watched this thing on Elian Gonzalez and like, you know, him coming to America before, you know, getting sent back. It's like people are coming and people are risking their lives and it showed how bad it is, but also shows that once you get to the place, the demons and the horrors don't stop. And I know this was like a very physical manifestation of it, but it was something so cool to see someone invent a new way to have something that's very internal and something that's very like personal be physical. And I think that is very smart.
Right.
So, I'm here for it.
Yeah, because it turned something that could have been a like Oscar bait, you know, storyline into honestly a more I guess commercial. I don't know what word you use.
I think
you know what I
it's
mean.
smart,
Like
man.
I personally like not that I don't like. Look, Hotel Rwanda, for instance, is like a really good movie, but it's like it's hard to watch. It's harder to watch those movies. That's also hard for people to watch scary movies too. But it's like there's something about this that makes it like you go, oh right, I don't know. It feels more real, even though it's literally faker.
No, but that's the way it is, though. You know, that's the way it is.
Yeah, this movie is really good. Yeah, this is really
Well,
good.
you know, I mean, I don't do bits no more, so I feel like we should probably just move on because
Okay, yeah.
it's not like
All right,
a bit that I'm about to do. You
All right,
know.
that's cool. So let's
Great,
just
yeah.
Boy, don't do bits no
Okay,
more.
cool. So we
Okay,
got
you said that already.
okay.
So now we're moving
you know
on.
what I'm talking about? Your boy don't even do no bits.
All right, that's great.
What
That's
are
great.
you doing,
man.
man?
You're doing a
Are
little
you
Will
talking like
Smith.
Will Smith?
No, man, no.
Are you
All
doing
right,
a Will
do bits.
Smith impression?
Nah, because it's not a bit time, you know?
Yeah, so we're not.
Yeah, I
Braylock
do
is
know,
going to
so
set up
why-
the end.
Yeah, so
Well,
we can
why-
just move
can
to
you-
the next bit, whatever we do.
why-
I mean, the next part.
I've been trying to move
we
to
don't
the
do
next bit.
bits.
No, we don't. We don't do bits.
I know, but it feels like we're stuck because I
You know
can't
what I'm
move
talking
past
about?
you.
You feel stuck? I mean, what,
Yeah.
man? Come on, let's try to move on.
James.
I don't even know what this impression is anymore. All right.
Hey, Bray, I heard that this episode was sponsored by Blue Chew.
That's right. And we about to talk about sex, baby. We gonna talk about that's all.
you
That's all we
and
can.
me.
Just
Oh,
legally.
you're right. Did I already go past the legal? Okay, wait. So Blue Chew is about increasing your performance to get extra confidence in bed. Okay, it's BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue.
Look,
Okay.
if you don't know about Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis.
Yes, you can take it anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up twice as fast as a pill. So you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. You know what I'm talking about?
I see what you're doing, and I don't like it. Blue Chew is made in the USA. It's prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor or wait in line. It's even cheaper than a pharmacy, and they prepare and ship it right to you in a discreet package. No awkwardness, and you don't need to leave the house, which you shouldn't be doing anyway because it's a pandemic.
Not right now. Not right now. So, but check it out. We got a special deal for our listeners. You go to bluechew.com and get your first shipment free when you use the promo code, which is
Hollywood.
Okay? So, and you just, all you have to do is pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BLUE chew.com, promo code Hollywood. You get to try it for free.
It is the better, cheaper, faster choice. We thank them for sponsoring the podcast. Remember, when you support our sponsors, you help make this podcast possible. So please be sure to use our promo code Hollywood at bluechew.com. When's the last time you got rewarded for brushing your teeth? With Quip's new smart electric toothbrush, good habits can earn you perks like free products, gift cards, and more. Quip Smart Brush is for adults and kids, and it connects to the Quip app with Bluetooth. You can track when and how you brush. You can earn points for daily brushing, bonus points for completing challenges like streaks, and you can redeem all of these for rewards.
I know some of y'all are at home going, I already have Quip. Well, if you already got it, you can upgrade it with a smart motor.
Oh, snap.
And keep the features you know and love. Sensitive sonic vibrations, 2-minute timer with 30-second pulses for a guided clean. Start getting the rewards for brushing your teeth today and go to getquip.com/jump right now to get your first refill for free. I'm going to spell it out for you.
Spell it.
Okay, GETQUIP.com/JUMP.
Quip, better oral health made simple and rewarding.
It's time for the cause. We rate and review films not based on how much we like them, but whether they help the cause of more leading Black actors in Hollywood. So if we feel like film fully helps the cause, we give it a black fist. Feels like it somewhat helped the cause, we give it a white palm. If we feel like it didn't help the cause at all, we don't give it anything. So on the count of
Bam! I already got a fist in the air.
one,
You gotta wait
two,
till the three.
Pow! I got another fist up.
all right. Three. All right. Yeah.
James,
Okay, we're all
goddamn
giving
it.
black fist. All right, James.
Do you want to go first, James? God dang.
Yes, this movie's great. It's fantastic. Got so many black people in it. It looks great. It has a wonderful story. I was scared out of my mind. Just more black people winning, please. Please. Please.
Okay. I gave it a black fist for everything James is saying. Please let him win. Please, baby, please. I mean, again, like I have nothing but good things. I really hope people watch it. I mean, I feel like I've never told people like, yo, tell friends to watch this movie, but I think you should. I think like you should watch it. I know some people are like, I don't like horror movies. I don't want to be scared. You know, do one of those Netflix watch parties, man. Don't do it by yourself. But I think it's a dope movie. I really, really do, man. I can't wait to see what his director and the cast does next. Also, the main guy, for some reason, looked like a combination of Yaya and the dude who plays Atticus on Lovecraft Country. I don't know why. I was like, oh man, there's so much stuff you could be in. Like there's so much you can do. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to get a fist. This is going to help. It has to help both of their careers. I mean, they were incredible in it. Like,
Yes.
truly. And it's one of these horror films that, like, it's like you see the dramatic acting, but they can be in the genre movie. You can see them. They're doing the things. I don't know. You can just tell how good of an actor they are.
Yeah.
Like how good of film actors they are too. You know what I mean? Like they're embodying their characters. They're delivering like the emotional stuff, but they're also like being able to do that while executing whatever, you know, kind of directorial you know what I mean? Like a thing that they have to accomplish. Like even him just kind of staring I forgot I don't know if Jerah talked about this too. When like his mouth was covered in shadow. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's that bit where you kind of just see his eyes and his mouth are covered in shadow.
Yeah.
But I was just like, whoa, what is I don't know. There's so many moments like that where it was just truly amazing. So yeah, 3 Black Fists. All right. Well, this was a short one. I mean, this movie was nice and quick. So I was like, man, can we get more movies like this? They're really good and aren't like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, baby.
If you rate and review us on iTunes, give us 5 stars. We'll read your review on the air. I'm gonna read 2 here. This one is I read this one already. This one is by Zolo. Just says, amazing show, great chemistry between the hosts with different perspectives, and a great way to revisit good and bad movies. Awesome.
Nice.
All right. Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was nice and sweet. Thank you.
Short and sweet, just like this film. You can follow us at Black Men Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. BlackmenPodcast.com is our website. We have links to merchandise there, like T-shirts, pillows, iPhone covers. So get that. Also, we have a Patreon. We haven't been doing new episodes. I know people are asking us to do Lovecraft Country. Maybe we'll do that. I'm finally starting to watch it. Also, you can follow me at John Braylock, and I've been doing this just for fun. Tessa and I and our friends Nick and Jensen have been doing a podcast reviewing the Great British Baking Show. New episodes that are coming out on Netflix. So if you like that show and you want to listen to that, fair warning, the audio, the first 2 episodes is not that great, but it gets better.
Oh man.
You can follow me at James Third Comedy, JamesThirdComedy.com. Third is 3RD.
You can follow me at Jerah Milligan on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
All right.
Are y'all?
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production, executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. To listen to this podcast ad-free, sign up for Forever Dog Plus at foreverdogpodcast.com/plus. Check out video clips of our podcasts on YouTube at youtube.com/foreverdogteam. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Forever Dog Team to keep up with all of the latest Forever Dog news.